This is a quick recording to show how the ICOM ID-880H uses a selection of memories, or channels as they sometimes call them, which it has 1000, but also banks which are labeled A through Z. And then you can use a mixture of the two to actually group things together into different combinations. So let's show you how we'll actually power the radio on. First of all, obviously, you would just click on the power on and let it take it through its startup process. And when it starts up, it's going to be in a grouping that says, basically, I have everything in the system. Or this, in fact, is in VFO mode. It's not in memory mode. Okay, so you can do the typical tuning that you want to do in this mode. Okay, to get into the memory banks that we've actually set, if I show you on this background system, we've got 0 to 99, 100 to 199. If I click on the right part of the screen, 200 to 229. So there's lots of memory channels that have been programmed in here. Most of these are focused around the digital side of D-Star. But for the basic channels that you would tend to use for things like repeaters or simplex channels that tend to be used, this 0 to 99 is the primary area where that's been programmed in. What you'll also notice is that across on the right hand side, each of these individual channels can be assigned to a group. For instance, group E and group A, and then it's which actual channel within that grouping it's actually been assigned to. So let's show you what happens with the banks. So in the bank area, there are bank names, and I've set up 5. One for the YRARC, primary repeaters, so VE3 YRA, VE3 YRC, and so on. Some packet channels, some simplex channels, such as the area channels like 23, 24 that we use when we do outdoor events. A whole set of D-Star channels, and also repeaters above and beyond the York Region Amateur Radio Club repeaters. So let's show you what's in those, and then I'm going to show you how we access them through the radio. So this is York Region Amateur Radio Club. I've got the YRC VHF, the YRC UHF, and YRA repeaters in there, again in channels 1, 2, and 3 as we typically have them, with all of the tone settings to be able to access them. Under the B grouping, I've put in just a few of the typical WinLink systems, and obviously APRS has been a key packet system in there. These would typically say VA3 MCT-10 or BAL-10, but it doesn't allow me to put in any more than 8 characters, so I've just missed out the hyphen. The simplex channels, they are typically 22, 23, 24, 25 when we actually go out and do work on things like 5K runs or anything for public service. And these match up with the areas channels across the GTA. Likewise, channels 31, etc. Further down here, that's what they're used for typically. So they're well-known naming conventions across the rest of the GTA. There is D-Star, and I'm not a D-Star expert, but these are all of the different channels, the way that you get in and out of D-Star for a local repeater. And then finally, the repeaters. So you'll notice that channel 1, 2, and 3 here are missed out because they're in the YRARC grouping. But these are the rest of the actual repeaters that tend to be around in the area. So PWR, Ballantrae, VHF, Ballantrae, UHF, and so on and so forth down there. A few more as we get further down the page. TWR, which has recently moved, but it's still operational. Oshawa, Oakville, etc. Okay, so how do you get in and out of these different banks that we talk about here when we've got all of these channels here? How do we do that on the radio itself? So let me show you on the radio what we're actually going to do to get in and out of them. So I'm just going to make this radio image look a bit bigger so you can see this. Okay, so at the moment we're in VFO mode. I'm going to put the radio into memory mode. Okay. And you can see immediately that we have 01 YRCV. That would also match with the repeater that's up here that's in channel 1. Okay, now if I scroll around, we've got YRCU, YRA, PWR. So you can see they match all of the ones in the setting system on the left-hand side. Okay, this suggests that we're in a non-grouped or non-banked part of the radio. What we can do, however, if we want to get into a specific one like the York Region Amateur Radio Club one, is click on the band button here once, and you'll see now if I start to scroll around, there's YRARC, that's the bank A, packet, simplex, D-star, and repeaters. And it won't go any further than that. So I can now go back to the beginning. This one here is, again, back to the everything. So these are all the channels available, not in a bank. Again, going right, that's one of the banks, another bank, another bank. If I go into YRARC, again, by clicking, okay, now I have only three repeaters in here. 01 YRCV, YRCU, and YRA, and I can't get to any more of them. I'm stuck in that bank, okay, which is good when it wants to do things like scanning, etc. So that matches what we have on this system. So YRARC, top right hand corner, and 3 repeaters in there. To get into the next one, again, I press the band button. I can choose packet, click the band button again, and now I have the various different WinLink or APRS packet radio systems around the area. Okay, press it one more time. I can now move to the simplex channels. And in here we have things like the GTA channels and the various simplex Aries channels that we use, 23, 24. 24 is the usual one that we often. 23 is actually national calling frequency. But they are in there ready to go, all the simplex channels. Again, I can press this to go into the which band do I want to pick out, or sorry, which bank do I want to use? And I can go back again to the one that doesn't have a name, right back at the beginning. If I scroll left, that if I press band again, it takes me out of choosing band, and now I have access to all of the different channels that are there. Now, in this one, there are like 300, maybe 400 different channels assigned in here. So you might find yourself in the mix of a whole set of data that looks like these kind of things. And you think, well, what do I do? These don't make any sense. And it's literally just because you're in the top end of those memories. Literally just keep scrolling back and back and back. And eventually you will get back to the 01. And that's YRCV. So you could leave it in this mode and just change around the channels that you want to do. Or again, press the band mode. You can choose a bank. We're in a bank, and I just have those 3 channels available. Change it there, go back one. Now I'm in every channel. I hope this has been useful, and you'll be able to make some use out of this. Thank you very much.